welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our first streamed Mizzou Overwatch match of the season. I am your host, Son of Gary, joined by my co-caster Ian here, and we've got a good one today. It is Mizzou taking on Northwood. A little bit of a scuffed intro right now. The teams are already getting into game, and we are loading in here for our first map, which is going to be Night Market here on Lijiang Tower. I'm expecting a good one. What are you looking forward to in this series?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to see how this team starts off. Since this is our first stream game, it's going to be interesting to see how we play. We can already see a bit of a difference between Mizzou and Northwood's comps, which is great to see in a game like this. We're seeing more of a brawlier comp from Mizzou along with a more dive-focused.
Yeah, definitely. That newest hero, Juno, featuring prominently in both these compositions here in left. Both going to be playing those heroes, and a pretty star-studded roster on the side of Northwood right now. Going out on the point here. We got backstep, but on the May. Trying to get walled off, but Icy trying to punch this man real quick. Falling very low himself, though. It's going to get traded to the tanks. Killa goes down, but Icy loses his mech for it. Clairvoyant off to the side. He's able to pick off both. And this team really moving over to the side right now. Just fighting inside of the bus. Clairvoyant, Icy able to get back. Looks like Northwood is going to be able to push the team back here. Both back to the top right now. Comes to Northwood. They're going to start getting kind of early here.
Yeah, really an explosive start there. Northwood really trying to push that aggression with their sword dive. Which is kind of good at try to fight. Because if you can get them there, they're a little bit worried about
Oh, Icy gets a move off the map on the backstab, but without their May to get in here, Mizzou's just going to back out. Well, actually, I say that Stratocaster passed top rally here, so Mizzou wants to keep fighting this. They're here on the point, but the orbital ray coming down from left right now. It's going to create a lot of space for Northwood. Mizzou at this point. Spear pops down the orbital ray of his own, but it's not enough to save for a point. He gets traded out by Haven still. Here, picks up boat. Haven falls. Icy throwing in the self-destruct. It's a very messy fight right now. CJ's going to go ahead and do his best to continue rush on the point, but Pella is still here trading blows with Icy. The D.Va falling extremely low, but they need to find the follow here. They're going to get back onto the point right now. Mizzou finds the flip. They're able to clean up the Juno. And I say that actually, Lep gets a Suzu off CJ, and that allows him to escape right now. So Northwood, they're going to be able to leave quickly. Come back there on 3 points still. Pella forward with the trying to punish Icy, but they're not going to be able to find even there. And Clairvoyant goes down again. Both finds a great pulse bomb. Forces out this annihilation from Pella. It looks like he's able to get the mech, the D-mech on Icy there. And eventually find the baby D.Va, but
yeah, we really saw a lot of high energy, especially for the old guys. Beginning of the fight, although it was practically waiting for the second one by the end of it, they really just stuck around until Northwood really couldn't stay any longer. And since Mizzou was able to flip that decently into it, they're actually pulling away pretty well, having 3 ults here, even though they won that fight. It's going to be really hard for Northwood to really get anything done outside of some big play. This is the deepest for a Macho team. They're probably not going to try to get that stack on that wall. They're trying to fight Mizzou as exactly what
yeah, Boat also moving off of the Tracer, going to be playing the Pharah instead. How this works out, but the Blizzard comes down from backstab, but it's going to freeze up a couple members of Northwood. They're able to pick off Haven, but the orbital ray comes back out from left. Northwood trying to turn this around. The Bob is good from Haven as well. Creates a ton of space still. 75-ish% on the board. For Mizzou, Stratocaster just going to go ahead and jump off the map here to reset. A pretty good showing here from Mizzou, though. Yeah, Top is working pretty well.
They didn't really invest any ults there besides that filter. While it was getting value, Northwood kind of forced the ult out in order to try to keep themselves in the fight. But while it did work, they still lost a lot of them on that ult. Now they're going in for
Pella getting forced out early. The rally has to come out from Stratocaster there to save him, but Icy's going to fall for that, and with the orbital ray coming out from Spear, a ton of space is now available for Mizzou to push out. Boat is getting pushed extremely low. They need to try and find the kill under the Pharah, but he's going to be able to grab the Mega. Still Mizzou moving out on the point. Haven picked off by Clairvoyant. All the space in the world to work with right now. Have to be a re-engage for Northwood still. No ultimate available from them. They use everything to get in. They are going to be playing into this barrage and Kitsune Rush available from Northwood. Looks like Ice is going to be close to his annihilation as well. Coming online now, but Kitsune comes out. Tella's going straight to the backline. CJ's picked off. There's no Kitsune Rush available. Both supports down for Northwood. They're on point trying to get the flip right now. Trying to fight this Kitsune Rush. Icy pops the annihilation in desperation. They're able to get the flip. Stratocaster falls, but Icy goes down in short order. With the annihilation coming out from Pella, Mizzou's going to be able to flip this point over.
Yeah, that was a really big fight for Mizzou. They were able to fight with just that really one Ramattra ult against multiple ults from the Northwood side. Fairwood never really was able to find a good place to barrage in there, so it really just kind of went to waste in that fight. It's a really dangerous ult, so being able to shut that down, thinking you're not able to even start it, I think really paid off for Mizzou there.
Yeah, a very good opening round for Mizzou against a very tough opponent. This was not a match that I think, I'm not necessarily sure Mizzou came into this match favored, but they are pulling out all the stops right now, when even on the mirror comp against Northwood, playing very, very strong.
Honestly, I think Northwood playing Counterwatch there a little bit with a bunch of those swaps might have hurt them a little bit, because while they did end up having some ults eventually in there, not having that in that one particular fight where Mizzou had to get a lot of first round, I think it really hurt them in the end. And I know why they switched, but I think it also hurt them at the same time.
Yeah, we've got a Malga in play now for Icy. He's going to put a lot more pressure on Pella here on this Ramattra. But Boy also going to be going over to the Mei with backstep, but switching DPS. He's going to be playing Revenge on so wants to go in a bit more close quarters. And right now, but the Malga gets behind Icy in the middle of the team, but Pella getting the first pickoff. So Ramattra finds Lep on the break here. And now, Northwood's in a pretty bad spot. CJ getting pressure out right now. Icy is just trying to put a bunch of damage in Pella to stay alive here on this Malga, but Cap is going to go to Mizzou. He's going to try and get out more Northwood, but blocked off from the wall coming out from Clairvoyant. Icy's still in right now as well. He's just going to block off a lot of that damage. A very quick Jedi from Haven off to the side actually picks off Spear, and that's the opening that Northwood needs. They get in there. One kill traded out for Clairvoyant, but Northwood's going to be able to flip this point on over. An interesting series of events there.
Yeah, Northwood really needed to kind of get some distance there. Since they lost that first game, really they needed to rely on the information they had. They knew Mizzou wanted to play a hostile here, so they kind of went to counter that a little bit with that Malcolm going with that Ramattra. It worked pretty well for them. Well, they did lose it.
Oh, Icy caught out by the Mei wall. And they're going to trade out that Malga. That's the frontline presence down for Northwood, and just as quickly as they lost it, Mizzou's going to barrel back onto this point. Beautiful Mei wall from Clairvoyant there. Mizzou takes the flip.
Yeah, that Mei wall really came in clutch there. Being able to shut down their one and only tank there, especially with a Malga who's reliant on the whole team to kind of stay alive in the function. Being able to single him out really hurts. Because all you can really do is try to stay alive with whatever you have.
Ooh, okay, oh, Ice going in very aggressive again. Forced to burn that cardiac overdrive early. Girl comes out, tries to catch that backside, but Cable Girl out of there. As he's trying to walk forward now, but it's Hayden that falls first. Here, able to pick him off. They've got full ultimate to work, but they're going to pop Portal Ray as well as backstep Bud's Tectonic Shock. Comes out. Backstep Bud once again able to dodge that. CJ falling. Northwood still wants to invest into this. Let pop rally. It's going to be answered back from Stratocaster though, and there's just not enough healing available to keep Icy up after CJ falls. I actually think an Orbital Ray came out there as well, so both support ults extended for Northwood. They're not able to find the fight win. Yeah, find that with a really late kill on the boat. Not a great position for them to be in. They're 80% counting for Mizzou. This is last fight territory.
Yeah, in these kind of fights, having both these portals not able to win the fight there is really bad because they're both kind of sustained. We're going to see
fight and Deadeye coming out. Maywall from Clairvoyant not able to block off the follow-up from that as Mizzou will fall in short order, all chained up there by the Malga ult. And Northwood is going to claim the flip here still. One fight from Mizzou will secure this. They're low on ultimates though, so. Yeah,
Mizzou here is really reliant on trying to play a little outside of the territory. That's the point that really shut things down. Because force Ramattra have to use his transform and force force Brigida to actually engage without playing just outside of where Naga wants to be. Force Brigida to deal with the damage. None of them actually want to do it. That's
Big wall comes out there from both. Tossing the Maywall as well. Looks like outside that, and they're going to re-engage here with the Orbital Ray and the Blizzard. Backstep Bud, picks off left. That's one support down, both falls. And Mizzou, they've got the advantage here. Big height ult beautifully, and with nothing left in the tank, this flip is going to go back over to Mizzou. A last-ditch attempt from CJ to pop the Orbital Ray, but that is all she wrote, and Mizzou, a surprising upset here on map 1. Taking Lijiang Tower away from Northwood.
Yeah, I think that was really a difference in how those ultimates got used from the sports especially. We saw that sustain really paying off for Mizzou. Pretty much the only way they could win is by enforcing that really close engage with that cage fight, which is what really locked them in. But once they were there, they weren't really able to do too much from that. They needed to kind of keep themselves sustained longer, and Mizzou did a really good job of shutting out their attempts to try to keep the fight going longer.
Yeah, and I also really like the adjustment for Clairvoyant. On map 1, he was kind of getting picked off a lot, playing that lone angle with the Ashe. So on map 2, they switch roles. They move him over to the Mei, and Backstab Bud moves off that character onto the Venture. And I think just giving him that extra survivability and knowing that he's kind of like the shot caller that's been on the team for a while worked very, very well on that map. And he was able to coordinate a lot of those great Mei walls for those engagements against Northwood. So a really surprising win for Mizzou here on map 1 against a very, very potent opponent in Northwood. This is shaping up to be a really good series, so you're not going to want to miss the rest of it. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Mizzou up 1-0 in this first series of the season here in NECC Division 1. And up against Northwood, an opponent that, I mean, just looking at the schedule, this was slated to be a pretty tough one. So Mizzou coming out firing on all cylinders, and we are heading into map 2 right now. It's going to be Dorado.
Yeah, Mizzou really played a lot off their kind of initial sort of start and setup, able to really stop their kind of dive intentions with that heavy brawl. It's going to be interesting to see what they do on something like Dorado that can really is high ground focused early on. I wonder exactly how they're going to play, because we saw in that last map, they really didn't have much verticality to them outside of that Juno and that Venture to some degree. it's going to be a really different map approach, and I wonder how that's going to affect things.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're probably going to see maybe a backstep Bud Echo come out here. Obviously, one of his signature heroes, and pretty strong on a map like Dorado. But the tank matchup is probably going to be the more interesting thing to look at because you're going to have, obviously, D.Va and Winston are going to be the two meta-defining tanks on that map right now. And speaking of which, it's a tale of two tanks right now. Pella on the Winston, Icy covering that D.Va right now. Definitely historically the more popular hero for Icy as a historic off-tank player.
Keep you alive.
But I would honestly say the more interesting story is that Skiers Stratocaster are going to be rolling out here on the Ana Brig.
Yeah, I was actually kind of interested in
Stop
that
the
too.
monkey
You
business.
expect to see something with a little more verticality. They literally cannot get back up to high ground if any of them were to fall off, which I think might become an issue with that D.Va if they can do something about it.
Yeah, I'm just more interested in the fact that they're not playing Juno.
Yeah.
I mean, Juno has been a very meta-defining hero, and we're going to see Lep pull that out here. Haven also on Widowmaker. We'll see if this is a full map thing or use this early on.
I think what's kind of interesting with that Brigana placement is it seems to be using that mid kind of protect them to keep them going. It really shuts down the D.Va.
Oh yeah, that is an interesting pick here. Yeah, backstep Bud's not going to play yet. A big anti comes out. Ooh, with the sleep drop at CJ. Hella gets the sniper mark anyway. Despite the Ana's best efforts in Clairvoyant at range. A very interesting pick here on the Mei. Almost plays this like an old school off tank, kind of just using the wall for heal and using that beam to try and counter Icy if he goes in for an engagement.
Yeah, it seems like the majority here, but they just really did their homework. They most likely guessed that Icy's going on D.Va, especially being the combination here. It seemed like their entire team comp kind of based around.
He's under so much pressure right now. So many shots being here there. Boat forced to recall there. Nice whip shot from Stratocaster. Right now, just perfectly content to keep playing this high ground. Clairvoyant takes a little bit of pressure there. Forcing the ice block pretty early, but Icy, he is getting pumped down for this. The chase is going to come through from backstep, but he wants to find his D.Va, but he is getting harassed by Boat off to the side. He's going to need a pack from Stratocaster here to get some heat. Icy's still very low, and the nano boost comes out from Skier. Hella goes to the backline, takes out both supports, gets 3. 8 falls there, and backstep Bud picks up a 4th onto Boat.
Now, what I'm really interested in is what these ult cuts are going to look like, because with that D.Va ult along with the nano, it's going to be a little interesting because we're probably going to see a really heavy engage, most likely onto that Ana trying to shut things down. It's probably going to be a matter of how that machine gun coming in.
Yeah, the other issue here with not playing Juno is that Left does have this orbital ray, which can just be a fight corner in its own. Such a strong ult, even compared to Rally, which is good for defense. And we'll probably see that come out when Icy goes into the nano. We're actually going to see it early here. A D-Mech onto Icy early on. Self-destruct, but not able to get back into the next. Meanwhile, though, Boat, his Pulse Bomb finds its mark onto Stratocaster. A lot of ults coming out right now. Clairvoyant's Blizzard, Hella in the Primal Rage, getting chunked extremely low. CJ falls, frozen up by the Blizzard. Haven's able to trade out Clairvoyant for it, though. And it looks like Mizzou is coming out on top of this fight. It's a messy one, especially with the spawn advantage for Northwood here. Icy's coming back on Winston. Not liking the pressure he was under on that D.Va.
I think what's really interesting here is what you saw, particularly with that Brig ult coming out early against that Brig ult. Zach Kelly that I think really hurt Northwood a lot. They really wanted to win.
Interesting pulse comes out from backside, but Nano out onto Icy. The backline on the Winston. It looks like a whip shot from Stratocaster to stop him from getting in there. That's one of the big benefits of having the Brig in play. There's a lot more feel to that backline. The Nano doesn't really find any purpose right now. The DPS ult available for Northwood. Pulse Bomb does not find its mark, and a Nano onto Stratocaster here. I think that might have just been the peel for the Pulse Bomb. Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to see Clairvoyant do something else here because I mean, the Mei is not really able to punish the Winston as heavily as it is the D.Va. So we'll see if he makes an adjustment. It's actually going to be the Torbjorn. Oh, no, actually, no, he's actually going to be going to the Tracer, and backstep Bud is going to be playing the Echo. So another little switcheroo coming through for the Mizzou DPS lineup. Haven's also going to move back to the Widow for this point. This is an interesting adjustment. This point obviously has a lot more long sightlines, but CJ, what are you doing there, buddy? Ana playing so aggressively, and Pella easily punishes that. Go in here, fly and high ground wait for the Widowmaker, spot Icy. Going to jump up. He's got to respect this here, trying to get that primal rage online, but does not give Northwood the respect they deserve. Pella is going to get chunked down there, about 95% primal rage, so.
It seems like Mizzou's mostly game plan this entire match has been make their opponents play around them. We saw it a lot in the first game. We see it now in this game. Until they switch off, they're really just sticking to what's going to really hurt the enemy tank. And then once they do, they're kind of switching around.
A lot of ults available for Northwood right now. They got both support ults, plus that final range from Icy. The backstep bud is playing a dangerous game here. Flying a little too close to the sights of Haven, but it's actually going to be Clairvoyant that falls first. Another pick for the Widowmaker. The Orbital Rage close this one out. Pella is going to go ahead and pop the Primal Rage. Trying to keep this going. Not a huge fan of that decision. He's getting chunked down. Sleep Dart from CJ got most of that down. He's going to get another touch. It's able to stall long enough for Stratacaster to get back with the rally, though. Ultimon's able to shut that down for both, though. As he gets the nano from CJ, they should be able to clean up this one for both, but still. They are forcing a lot of ults out. Clairvoyant! A beautiful stick onto the enemy Tracer, trying to keep this going, but it's not going to be enough. Nobody's able to contest that Widow on the high ground. Haven picks up another 2 kills on the exit. Northwood's going to cap this next point and set it to the third phase of the map.
I think what was really the big difference there is we saw that Orbital Ray really come into play heavily there. That kind of won that entire fight there. Forced up that primal, forced out a lot of decisions to make it happen. They're kind of forced to play back a lot because of that. Sort of played it out. With having that bridge there, while it is a good ultimate, that Orbital Rage really just coming into the green. We saw the Widow back too, which seems to be
Got the monkey copy coming in for Baxa, but diving in the backline. No Sleep Dart available for CJ right now. The entirety of Northwood is getting forced back. Copy Primal Rage comes through. Another shot from both onto Clairvoyant. Is able to take out the Tracer and has another Tracer as well. Pella only finding Haven backline for his trouble. He's forced to back off here. Air backline anti. Got to be very careful. They do not want to give up an exit point, an exit pick here. As close as this part is to the checkpoint. Notably, Haven sticking on the Widowmaker here, so still got the threat of that one-shot kill in the backline. Comfortable right now, but he's got his eyes on left, but gonna get slept up by CJ here. Orbital Ray finding a ton of kill for the backline with that kill over time. It's gonna be the cleanup coming through from Northwood right now. Nano onto Icy, just able to demolish the Mizzou backline. Left grab, one last kill on the Clairvoyant. Backstep desperately trying to go over to Venture to touch, but he's not going to be able to. As Northwood finishes the map under a minute on the time bank, but a much more solid second and third point compared to that opening point. I think a lot of that comes down to the Winston swap.
Yeah, I think they tried to force them off the Diva, which it worked decently well, and they were actually doing a lot of value when that happened. As soon as they switched, though, it seemed like they didn't really have a particular plan for when they did. Especially with that Juno really able to ult frequently and get a lot of value off of every single one they do. I think that really hurt Mizzou in terms of like their sustain and what they could do. They sort of had a deadline on the fight of when Juno had her ultimate. And every time it happened, Winston had to immediately primal to really survive the damage up what they could do just to continue being a tank in the fight. And as soon as the Sleep Dart comes out, Winston's a giant target. It just was fight over from there. They couldn't really do much up without that tank. And having that Juno is kind of what enables that all.
Yeah, we're actually going to see Northwood is actually going to go with the same strategy as Mizzou on defense. They are going to put left on the brig. And I think it does kind of just come down to the fact that the brig is very good at peeling against the Winston when he goes for those aggressive dives on the high ground. But like you did say, the Juno ult is very, very important in these ultimate cycles here in this meta because it just gives you such a powerful ult to have pretty much every other fight. It just allows you to pretty much win fights based off of it alone.
What I'm interested in
yeah, it's going to be beyond a Brickneer here, though.
Yeah, I'm interested to get how this Widowmaker plays with all of it. We see the double dive from Mizzou just all around. How's that Widowmaker really going to function? We've got kind of constantly down.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a lot of pressure on the backstep, but here, I mean, Echo, not entirely sure if this is going to work too well with the Widowmaker in play. Both recall is working very, very early, and Poe's just trying to force him out right now with the little sniper bucket shots. Point's already gotten back into the back line, peppering both at lane. At some point, he's going to look to link up with Hella and dive on Haven. A lot of health bars getting chunked for Northwood right now. Another recall force out of bow. Hella's content right now just to trade some aggro with Icy, who's similarly trying to get help the front line, but Hella goes in. Oh, on the side that finds that first entry frag. With no follow-up from the Echo on high ground, Hella's just going to have to disengage back down to the target on his own, so actually drawing board home too.
Yeah, it's really interesting here because we've seen a lot of their both kind of the mainline is trying to pick up on it so they can get an answer in order to try to get it to happen. You see both looking at the enough confidence that happens. It's kind of just a matter of who can survive the most amount of damage here or get that on it down. That Brig is being really supportive for what he's coming out.
Yeah, Icy is playing very aggressive right now. I mean, he just doesn't really have a lot of fear. He's got full base in CJ to keep him alive here. He plays on top of this high ground. Point trying to pressure the back line, but he's under a lot of duress from Boat. Haven picks off both backliners. The Widowmaker going huge there to open up the fight for Northwood. Gets another one on the way out on backstab, but this is just rough going for Mizzou here.
One of the interesting sides here, offense versus defense here, is that Brigida pick while on defense, same with the Tracer, they can kind of get down very well, but they can't ever get back up consistently other than if Tracer keeps recalling back. That Brigida is kind of stay there, help it on it, literally never move from that, whereas the attack side, if they want to go up at all, they can't do anything else. Throw a single whip shot at it.
Yeah, Icy, another in and out engagement right there. They just don't have the win. It's going to be a copy win out from backstep, but goes straight on the Haven, trying to get this Primal Rage online. The Widowmaker is going to fall, but in the back line, Icy received a nano from CJ, just able to trade it out. Rally now in response to the Primal Rage from backstab, but he's just not able to find anything in the back line, picked off by CJ. And Hella now trying to go into the Primal Rage on his own, but getting around, juggled. The Roy maybe find one on to left, and with Hella escaping with his life, this could be something for Mizzou, but Roy kind of stuck in the backline there. He's going to get traded out. Mizzou, they're trying to keep the aggression on, but I'm not sure how much longer they're going to get the hold out, especially if the Hondas get traded. Rally coming out from Stratocaster, backstep, but able to trade out onto both, but it's just trade after trade after trade, and eventually this is going to end up favoring the defense. You're just chipping so much time off the clock. Trying to find Icy right now, but there's nobody really available to contest Haven. Hella's holding it down right now, but
yeah, I think Haven on that Widowmaker is really causing a lot of pressure, especially on the support here. Brigida has to constantly go up for it. Anna gets a single shot to the head.
got a nano coming out onto Hella. Both dancing into the backline right now, but Icy able to find Stratocaster. Hella is just not able to find this kill on the left. He's being so elusive right now on this Brig. And backs him up, swaps over to Sombra. He's able to get the one pick on Haven, but under 20 seconds to go, Mizzou is going to be pressed for a touch, and Hella goes down. I'm not sure anybody's going to be able to get there. Steer desperately swapping over to Lucio. Backs up, but may be able to get there with a triple bling. Not able to do so. And Mizzou going to be falling here on Dorado. Pretty strong showing there from Northwood.
Yeah, I think the main thing that comes down to is Northwood seemed more comfortable with switching in those games. They knew what exactly Mizzou's game plan was to make them uncomfortable. As soon as they sort of figured that out, that kind of took a lot of the power out of Mizzou's hands. It seems like they were starting to get more comfortable on those new characters, new roles. Haven especially trying to switch it up a little bit. And while they did try to play Cassidy for a little bit, switching off to that Widowmaker put pressure, and also on that earlier switches, I think really those kind of small differences what's making Northwood. It seems like whenever they have to play uncomfortable, they sort of lose. But as soon as they can get into a groove of it, Mizzou kind of just would have to keep switching in order to get something to happen. And that's not exactly easy to do when they're going to keep losing ultimates from that.
Yeah, and I think also with the Widowmaker swap, it just demands so much attention if he's getting those picks. Because even if you saw in the second half of that defense for Northwood, Haven really wasn't getting as many picks because Mizzou was sending so much pressure off after him. But the issue with that is that now you just have Icy jumping into the backline with Boat, and pretty much uncontested there as the rest of Mizzou is trying to go onto the Widowmaker. It sounds like we're actually going to be rolling maps here, so we are going to be going into map 3 shortly. What kind of adjustments are you looking to see from Mizzou here?
honestly, here I'm wondering if I can see something along the lines of something that applies consistent pressure. Because it seems like currently their strategy is sort of target focus on their tanks, especially. Their goal is to kind of keep them from being comfortable. They know their entire team comp revolves around that. Honestly, I wonder if they can do something to put more pressure onto their supports or maybe even their DPS, particularly some sort of way to keep them under some sort of wraps.
All right, so we are going to be heading over to map 3 very quickly here, and it's going to be our first map of the series, Runasapi. This is a Mizzou map pick, so obviously, I think Mizzou is definitely going to want to take this back over to the Brawl. That seemed to be where they were most comfortable on map 1. You don't really want to give Northwood the chance to play that dive on people, so something like Esperanza definitely out of the mix. Runasapi, the newest push map in game, pretty favorable to Brawl, and Pella going to be rolling back out on this Ramatra here. Clairvoyant back on the Ash, back moving over to hit scan.
That kind of is just what I was talking about. It seems like they're switching to Ash to kind of put a little more pressure on other people. While the Echo is really good for busting, it doesn't really put any pressure on because the support is so different.
Yeah, Icy also on the Junker Queen. I think it's going to be imperative on Clairvoyant here to pretty much just put a lot of pressure on the Junker Queen, try and force Icy to burn a lot of his cooldowns early before he can get in and deal a lot of damage. But Stratocaster, first of all, Haven finds a break off to the side. Now Mizzou kind of stuck behind Northwood right now. He's starting to push on the other side of the map as he tries to bunker on the other side of the map, but Clairvoyant not able to get out here, and he's in a really bad spot. You're actually able to trade one back though, and Junker Queen getting slowed out. The duo here from Backstep on Pella, backed up from the Juno coming out from Skier. It actually works out pretty well. Clairvoyant comes back on the Tracer, is able to contest.
Yeah, I think the Bane thing that kind of happened there is that they were able to sort of help one off. Because in this whole kind of strategy, you're playing around big really hard. And until their cooldowns are down, they're kind of forced to play outside of their range, which is kind of good for Ramatra if they can do that. But Mizzou hasn't really had to do that yet this kind of game. Whenever they were playing that Ramatra, they were playing against a D.Va who they kind of just wanted to get back in their face as soon as they were sort of forced to stay there.
Yeah, I'm interested to see Icy on the Junker Queen here. I think he's actually going to have a little bit of trouble with Stratocaster here on the Brig. Obviously, he very much just loves to run it down to get these melee axe swings, shotgun drops on people, but the Brig whip shot provides a lot of momentum to get in on the engagement windows. Oh my god, you can see where it explode there. Skier throws down the orbital ray, and Icy just evaporates from all the pressure. I think a Blizzard came out from Backstep but as well, and that fight was over before it even began.
I think that Bane is actually doing a lot of the work here, being able to shut his tank here. Junker Queen's all about being able to go in and go back out very well, having that ability to pull all in something or pull all out. Having that ability to shut down with his body.
Kitsune rushing out on the point from CJ. A lot of utility for Northwood to work with, and Clairvoyant already chunked very low. The Tracer pretty much out of this fight, but Stratocaster pressing the rally as the Kitsune rush expires. He wants to get back in here and fight this. And as the bomb and orbital ray come down, Northwood loses 2. A really bad series of events here. Bomb is able to pick off Clairvoyant, but that is 3 really big ults for Northwood in a lost fight. Oh, an Icy popped Rampage there. Oh no, look away.
Yeah, that's going to be insane of a makeup for Northwood.
I mean, he's got to be swapping here.
Yeah, no way. I think the only thing that makes sense is a swap.
Yeah,
we see
all right, he's going to go over to the Ramatra. CJ also swapping off of the Kiriko onto the Ana. I think this is a pretty smart move. The Kiriko, I mean, the main utility it really provides is the cleanse, which would be good if there was a Junker Queen here. And then also another heavy offensive on the Kitsune rush. Ana's a lot more healing and a lot more pressure onto the enemy tank. Haven, once again, finding the main support from the Zoo. Stratocaster oversteps a little bit. Finally, an entry here for Northwood. Icy's going to be able to trade out Skier as well. Oh, whoa, Pella popping Annihilation here. Whoa, okay, that was not sure what the idea behind that was. I wonder if we're going to see a switch
from Mizzou 2 here.
Yeah, let's see if Pella swaps here, because that was a very late Annihilation for nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I mean, I have noticed that Mizzou has been very liberal with their ult usage this game, and they have been investing a lot of ultimates into fights to try and turn around. And it has worked previously, but that one I feel like is a bit too speculative. And now we're seeing Pella trying to march up here, trading aggro with Icy in the front line. Gets swept up by CJ, but get out of there. Blizzard comes out from backstab, but not before Stratocaster falls again. I don't think anybody's caught that Blizzard from backstab, bud.
Yeah, I think that's going to really hurt. That nail is kind of the main thing to have.
Another safe dart comes out on Pella. I'm wondering if Stratocaster is going to have to swap here because the Brig very, very good into the Junker Queen to try and peel her off the back line, but much weaker against the Ramatra. In particular, mainly just because she cannot do anything against that Nemesis form with the speed boost and the piercing punches coming at you. So I'm wondering if we see a swap from Stratocaster at some point because it just seems like CJ is getting so much more value here on this Ana pick and just providing a lot more offensive pressure on his Pella.
Yeah, we see swap back and
Oh, Mizzou does not respect the Deadeye from Haven. I think they thought he stopped holding it there, but once the Ice Wall drops his backstep, but a couple kills come through, and that's their orbital ray down the drain. Northwood has the lead now.
Northwood used their orbital ray too, so that's not quite there, but they have a bunch more ults in this fight. I'm expecting probably some sort of nano nemesis here. It's gonna really hurt, especially in this sustained fight, because Mizzou doesn't really have anything to change.
Yeah, they've only got the rally right now, but a nice slow from Pella actually sets up kill on Haven. Pella getting his back line now. They're able to trade out CJ, but the Nano Annihilation comes out just like you said. And is able to trade out to Pella goes down. Clairvoyant extremely low. He finds left in the meantime. That Nano Annihilation is going to expire, but here getting pressured back here. Gonna get chased down by Icy and Boat. Now it's just Backstep Bud left in the backline. Crucially though, Backstep Bud actually managed to steal the bot back. So Northwood is going to have to march this bot back up to the barricade, but that barricade is moving very dangerously close to the spawn.
Northwood having to play really risky there. They kind of had to do anything there, otherwise they would have lost their tank entirely. And if they do that,
Stratocaster really careful here. Speedring actually comes out there from here. Looks like that might actually have been to help Stratocaster get back and backs it, but Punishes left. Went in a little bit deep there, and as the Nemesis form expires for Icy, is he able to shoot him out? Actually, he's able to get back into it. Cassie rolling in, trying to get one last pick. Northwood just throwing bodies at the point right now to stall this out. Stagger is going to come out onto CJ, so...
Yeah, this is really big for Mizzou. 4 ults going into what's likely going to be one of the last couple fights, maybe 3 or 4. It's going to be really important. And with no ults even relatively close for Northwood, maybe the pulse bomb, not really much coming from that either. It's going to be really hard for Northwood to do anything. They're probably going to keep building ults in that fight. Might even have to try to use them just to keep it going.
Yeah, I think Mizzou really did play that uphill stretch very well because they knew Northwood kind of had to use ultimates to keep going. And Mizzou doesn't overinvest their own to try and get back into this map. So they didn't have a healthy thing themselves. They started off with normal ray coming through from Skier, but Clairvoyant picked off the side. Jedi comes out from Haven and is able to find both support. Annihilation out from Icy onto point. Also cleans that up. Northwood also doing a very good job of waiting to get their ultimates online and answering back against that orbital ray. Still, that's the only ult expended for Mizzou. They still have this rally plus the Blizzard and Annihilation from Pella.
Yeah, we're seeing that really provide most of their value from the ultimates really. They're using a stunning tool, but Mizzou isn't really respecting it that much, so they're kind of getting random hits off there.
Yeah, Haven is going really deep here, and he still manages to find like 3 picks. Very good stuff coming out from Cassie and Northwood. And Pella desperately trying to get the trade on the left, but the pocket from CJ is there and not able to do so. Northwood's going to start pushing up again. And Haven on the Cassidy can get some really good value this map. Starting to get a little scary for Mizzou right now. Wall comes out from backstep, but he's trying to isolate him, but anything on the Stratocaster is going to force the rally out. He's going very low anyway, and Icy's able to pick him off. Haven goes down, but I feel like that break is a bit more valuable. Left is going to go ahead and slow down that orbital ray, but it's here. The Juno from Mizzou, able to pick off 2. Where did that come from? Annihilation Capella is just going to keep him alive here. It's a little bit of an investment, but there's the orbital ray coming out from Northwood. It's probably worth it. Stopping that forward progress for them.
Yeah, I think that's really worth it in terms of they did have to use a lot of ults to get there, but against Northwood, they kind of have to use a decent amount to keep it going. And being able to win that, they are down, so they do need to win this kind of fight. We're down less than a minute, so every fight is important.
Jedi from Haven. They really have to respect this. Annihilation coming out from Icy as well, and Leb finds Stratocaster. Swapped over the Kiriko. Looks like he wanted to get back a little bit faster. Annihilation is still rolling on point. Less than 15 seconds to go, and Mizzou is falling 1 by 1. Northwood just takes the early fight, and they get the picks they need. Back to the butt, a desperate swap over to Somber to touch, but Northwood stopped pushing. Doesn't look like he's able to touch for just a second, but Nano Boost comes out onto Haven. Clairvoyant trying to touch. He gets it, but Haven with that Nano Boost picks off 3 at the end there. And that'll be another map win for Northwood.
Yeah.
Not looking too good for Mizzou. Very good early on in the map, but Northwood makes the better adjustments, takes the Ramatra mirror, and they're able to close it out there.
Yeah, I think we saw Haven really shutting down that mid-range fights. Having that Mei there is really useful if you can sort of get a fight started and wall off what's ever necessary, but it never really ended up in positions where that was particularly good. The Mei ults were kind of used whenever they could, wherever they could, try to get a little value off it, but they just never were quite enough to settle out that fight. Meanwhile, those early, not really respecting the castle ult, got them 1 pick, able to just win the whole fight off that one by using a couple more ultimates. I think that Nano Nemesis, that was kind of the turning point that we saw there. Yeah. If they weren't able to get that off, which was entirely possible, I think Mizzou might have had a better shot there. But because they were able to get that in that bad position, I think they were kind of able to just snowball off that and get enough value to sort of just coast on that for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm also, I feel like we're seeing a little bit of maybe an experience gap between Clairvoyant and Boat on the Tracer. Obviously, Boat historically a much more experienced DPS player, where this is Clairvoyant's first semester switching over to the role, previously playing tank. So it's a little bit of a mismatch there on the flex DPS, especially if you want that to be your lineup. And obviously, early on in the map, they were trying Clairvoyant on the hit scan, which he is a bit more comfortable on, but not working too well. The aggression coming out for Northwood, really punishing that. We're going to go to a quick break before map 4, let our teams get a little bit of time to reset before going on to the next one. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we are back after just a short little break. Teams are getting into lobby right now, and I'm hearing word that our next map is Hanaoka, our first game of Clash this season.
Yeah, it's a very different kind of style to play, and I barely played it myself. It's going to be interesting to see how these kind of teams that probably haven't.
This will not be won
relatively
without
new too.
sacrifice.
Yeah,
Be
different
ready.
is one way to put it. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of this mode. It's we'll see. We'll see if we get the Clash special here, which is of course one team pushes all the way into the other team's spawn, and then proceeds to get reverse swept because this mode is really some bizarre design choices. But Mizzou seems to think it favors them because they've picked it over Flashpoint. What is the rule set here for NECC? They can pick either or on this map 4.
I guess if no one knows how to play the map, you know it a little bit here and
It's going to be a similar look to last map over on Ash. It's going to be this honest look for Northwood compared to the original for Mizzou, but Icy able to find that first pick. Backside Bud playing the Venture here, not able to get much of anything. It was actually a really good wall came out from both there that really separated Pella and Backstep Bud from the rest of the Mizzou core. And Backstep Bud,
you see an immediate switch to that Fury Juno.
Ooh.
I think the main reason here, though, is because of that Ana Juno is able to just out-sustain them, and when they're fighting brawl to brawl, that feeling is kind of important for their to sustain a fight like that.
yeah.
You saw that immediately come into effect.
Now, obviously, one of the more questionable and beneficial for Mizzou here design choices of Flash is that, well, actually, I say that Backstep Bud gets picked off there by Haven. Nice headshot coming out from the Ash. Here trying to get the Kunai kill on to the Juno, but has nobody to CP2. And then just getting punished there by Haven. Haven's having a great series right now. Played phenomenally on the Cavs. Safi, and now just taking over on Ash here. And obviously of note right now, ultimate charge for Northwood looking really good right now.
Yeah, so far we haven't really seen much on the side of Missouri, which is kind of...
Oh, backs up, but not able to get the last touch there. He's going to be able to get out here. He's getting chased by Icy. I'll let him try to get the kill here. Maybe get the trade on the left, but not quite land the punches. Nice dynamite comes out from Haven. He's going to get a ton of pressure on this Ramatra, and the slow comes out. Capella's going to fall. Entry butt, Stratocaster, steps bleeding. Off Haven. A little bit tough Kirko though. Clairvoyant just trying to stall it on point right now. Annihilation comes out from Icy. Uh-oh, this could be bad. A lot of ultimates available for Northwood. They could just end this map here and now. Backstep Bud trying to get in the backline right now. Pick up somebody on this Tracer. He's nearing this pulse bomb, but a Nano comes out onto May, and Blizzard Orbital Ray getting stacked. A lot of ultimates coming out from Northwood. We've got to play this extremely careful, but members are falling left and right. We're only going to get one chance to touch here. Orbital Ray comes out from Skier to try and put this back into contention. Another tick is going to come over to Northwood. Backstep Bud out on the Venture, trying to touch, but Pella gets traded out by Skier. It's just Backstep Bud trying to stall this out on Venture right now. He's going to have to come out of the ground eventually. Blizzard out on point from Clairvoyant, but he gets picked off the block from Haven. It's going huge. Pella back on the Duke is trying to stall desperately. Opportunity rush coming out from Skier right now. But so much damage coming out onto Pella, and no health bars on the side of Northwood are falling even remotely low. A sleep dart onto Pella. This Doomfist is getting so low, and Boat just finding pick after pick after pick. The Venture falls. Pella trying to stay alive here. The Nemesis form out from Icy, trying to finish this Doomfist off. Points out on Bastion right now, looking for a nade kill. He's got the turret out, looking for left. And they finally find the pick they need. Icy goes down, and Mizzou starts the cap.
Honestly, I feel like Bastion is really the right move here. Is able to finally shut down that Ash Wolf. We saw a lot of value early on.
He's going to swap off here.
That was I think honestly those two hitting to some sort of Sojourn, yeah. Having some sort of hit scan here is really important to try to keep that Ash intact. Honestly though, Doomfist is not a terrible choice to kind of keep that momentum. That's kind of
Ooh, Icy's in a dangerous spot. Getting chunked very low. Forced to use that Nemesis form early. He gets punched out from Pella there, but Nano Boost is going to come out onto him. CJ throwing that one over. Icy just going into the backline right now. Good heal comes through onto the Sojourn. Live torpedoes, but oh, this could be all she wrote. Only 1 point needed for Northwood right now, and they've got all the picks they need. All 5 members of Mizzou fall. And what started off looking like the series of the week In tragedy as Mizzou falls on Clash 5-1.
Yeah, that's kind of just how Clash is, if I'm not honest. It really is just who can get something going fast, and it's just a matter of can you snowball as soon as the fight happens. As soon as Northwood kind of got that first fight win, Mizzou really only had one more chance to kind of shut things out. And they were able to get that foothold a little bit, but as soon as Northwood got one more fight won, they were just able to win off that.
Yeah, a pretty interesting choice, I would say, I think, seeing Mizzou pick Clash there, as you have maps like Suravasa available, which I feel like would have allowed you to play more of that close-range Ramatra style, avoiding the hit scan, which is what they seem to want to go towards, judging off that map 1 performance. But they pick Hanaoka, and I mean, really the story of that map really just was Haven on the hit scan. Particularly on those last 3 maps.
Yes.
Wasn't able really to find the sight lines on Lijiang Tower, but once you got to Dorado over Nasapi, Hanaoka, just able to get pick after pick after pick on a variety of heroes as well.
Yeah,
So Mizzou is going to be falling here 3-1. Starting off their NECC bracket 0-1, but plenty of games left in the season. And we'll hopefully be back here next week with some more great action. But that is going to be it for our stream tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Not exactly the result we hoped for, but still a fun one nonetheless. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and take care. We'll see you next week.
See ya.